Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and
Joel. Okay, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Joyous Joel.
Hey guys, what's up? Oh, I'm joyous today.
Yeah,
right.
You are super joyful because we're going to talk about Blumhouse 2022 film, The Black Phone.
Yes.
The Phone of Black.
Short story written by Joe Hill, Stephen King's son.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember hearing it was a short story by Joe Hill, but I was like, am I supposed to know who that is? Because doesn't sound familiar. But
yeah.
Okay. So he doesn't have the same last name, huh?
Well, I don't know if it's like...
I'm sure King is not Stephen King's last name.
Well, I mean, that actually might be. It's just Joe, like, his son wanted to like, you know, go out and do his own thing and not have, like...
Yeah.
I'm Stephen King's son, like, on his... So he probably,
Maybe.
I don't know. It could be Hill. It could be King. I'm not. Yeah. I have no idea.
Joe King.
Joe King. Yeah.
Joe Hill. What was the guy's name on King of the Hill? It wasn't Joe, was it? The main guy?
No, it wasn't. No.
What was his name?
I forgot what his name was.
Okay. Well, anyways, it made me think of that guy. Whoever he is. Can't remember.
I thought it started with like a C or something, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. It's been years since I've seen that show.
Yeah. King of the Hill. Isn't that funny? King of the Hill?
And
what? Oh my gosh.
But
wow. Okay. Hank. His name is Hank.
Yeah, Hank.
Hank Hill. All right. Anyways, so let's get back to the Black Phone. So,
all right,
Joel, who is a part of this one?
So this one stars Ethan Hawke. He was in Gattaca, an Uma Thurman movie. Who he's married to in real life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have a daughter who's in Stranger Things.
Wow,
also,
you're just a wealth of knowledge today.
I am.
Dang, you just know everything.
Oh, she's one of the best characters in the show. So.
Okay.
Oh
wait, is she Max?
No, she's Robin. It's a character that was introduced in season 3.
Robin?
That year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I actually just started watching season 3.
Oh, really?
I started it up again. Yeah, we're only 2 episodes in, so.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, you've seen her at this point. I think she's in the first. She is in the first episode all the way through. So, Daybreakers.
Which one? Hold on. Who is she? Is she?
She's Robin. No,
who's Robin?
Character.
You already said she's Robin. Who is Robin? Is she the? Does she work at the ice cream place?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's the one helping translate the Russian thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's Robin. She's Robin, obviously.
All right. Continue.
Okay. He's in Daybreakers, Sinister, and the upcoming, apparently Netflix movie Knives Out 2.
Oh, yeah.
Netflix bought the rights to like a trilogy of those movies, so they're making more.
Okay.
I like the first one, so
Yeah.
I'm down for another.
Me too. I think they've been working on this one for a while.
Yeah, I think they have. I think
They
it's supposed to
announced
come out
it a
this
while
year.
ago.
So
Oh, okay.
yeah. And then we got Mason Thames. He's Finney. Thames, Thames. I'm to the Thames or Thames. And he is in For All Mankind, 3 episodes of an Apple TV show. Walker, 2 episodes of that Texas Chainsaw or Texas. Wow. Walker Texas Ranger show.
Walker Texas Chainsaw Ranger.
Oh man, what a combination. Would make sense. They're in the same state.
Yeah,
so-
that's a really good point. Why was Chuck Norris never involved in Texas Chainsaw?
Totally should have been. Get him in that series.
Yeah, Chuck Norris versus Leatherface. I mean, come on.
Obviously, Chuck Norris is gonna win.
Yeah.
Like that's not even a fair fight.
Well, that's why they never put him in there, because
Yeah, it's true.
It would have only been
Because
that
it's
one
just-
movie.
It'd be and that one movie would last like 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's game over after that.
Yeah, all right. I understand now.
He's young Walker in 2 episodes of that show.
Okay.
And then we've got Boys of Summer, which is a 2022 Mel Gibson supernatural movie.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe something to put on the list of movies
right.
to review this year. And then we got Madeline McGraw. She's Gwenny. She is in American Sniper.
Oh.
Cars 3, Toy Story 4, and the Disney Channel show Secrets of Sulphur Springs, which she was in 19 episodes of.
Wow. Okay. So she's
Yeah.
done a lot.
Yeah, she's like, what, 9-10 years old
Yeah.
in this movie?
Dang. All right. Cool.
This was written and directed by Scott Derrickson. He wrote Urban Legends, Final Cut, Hellraiser, Inferno, and Exorcism, Emily Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's done some good ones writing wise. And then we got C. Robert Cargill, who wrote Sinister, Doctor Strange, and Sinister 2. So they pretty much work together because
Yeah.
Scott Derrickson also wrote Doctor Strange, but I didn't put it on there because I'm not gonna put his whole filmography on here. So.
So they're like a little team, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Scott Derrickson directed. He directed Exorcism of Emily Rose. Can't say that for some reason today. Sinister, The Day the Earth Stood Still, and Doctor Strange.
All right.
So I did actually end up mentioning Doctor Strange for him. He was supposed to do Doctor Strange 2, but
so he did the first one. He didn't do the
yeah, no,
the
he
new
didn't.
one.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, he was going to, but he wanted to make it darker than that movie was. He wanted to make it scarier.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So I don't know what his plans were because that movie had some pretty intense horror elements to it.
Yeah. I actually saw that. I tend to avoid superhero films, but I actually saw Doctor Strange in the Mouth of Madness.
In the multiverse of
Not the Mouth of Madness. That's a John Carpenter movie. What?
The Mouth of Madness? Doctor Strange in the Mouth of Madness?
Multiverse of Madness or whatever. But that was Sam Raimi. But I actually did enjoy that one. The horror elements to it were really cool. So
that was all Sam Raimi.
Yeah, I'd be really curious to know
he
what
was all over.
Yeah,
Scott Derrickson's version of that would have been. Yeah, I know.
Interesting.
I wish studios would just like stay out of it and just let the directors do what they want to do.
Yeah.
But if he was wanting to make it scarier, I don't know if they're going to be pushing for an R rating, which Disney, I don't know.
Yeah.
If they're there yet, so.
Yeah. Disney.
But good old Disney.
All right. So after being abducted by a child killer and locked in a soundproof basement, a 13-year-old boy starts receiving calls on a disconnected phone from the killer's previous victims.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So this guy, they call him the Grabber.
It's a pretty lame name.
It's very
Come up with something better.
Yeah. He's the Grabber because he grabs kids. Oh, man. It's not very...
original?
Yeah, not very creative.
Yeah,
So,
creative too.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the name, but anyways. So let's try to steer clear of spoilers until I guess the end of the review. I don't know how much we'll be spoiling if we go deep into it, but I don't know how much we want to like spoil at the end, but anyways.
Here's the thing with this particular movie, like when I usually am like one of the ones saying that they didn't put too much in the trailers for movies that people are like, oh, there's way too much in this. It's all spoiled for me.
Yeah.
This one though, they put a lot in that trailer.
That first trailer especially.
Pretty much put the whole movie in this trailer.
Yeah.
Like almost every scene that Ethan Hawke is in, except for maybe one or two, was in that trailer. I'm like, okay, well that's, I don't know. It's one of those rare times where I'm like, yeah, I think that they actually did put too much into it.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed it. It was still a fun movie.
Yeah.
For sure. It just kind of takes the suspense out of it, knowing that at some point these things are going to happen that I saw in the trailer. There was one scene I was waiting for that didn't happen though. That was in the trailer. Every time he picked up the phone, every time the phone rang and he picked it up, I don't know if I should save that until later because it's a moment that's in the trailer that's not in the movie.
Oh, so. Interesting. Okay, I don't think
I
noticed
didn't
that.
notice anyway.
Okay,
but maybe you can get to that later.
Yeah,
We'll
try to
spoilers area, I guess.
We'll try to remember to bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was worried about that because this movie was supposed to come out back in February.
I think wasn't it supposed to come out a year ago? Wasn't this one that got pushed back?
I don't know. I just know it was like a couple of weeks or something before it was going to come out. It was then pushed to the summer this year. So I don't know about before. I'm not sure.
Okay. I thought I heard about this one getting pushed back. I thought this was maybe in one of our anticipated of last year, but
yeah, I don't know. I
I
remember hearing about it toward the end of 2021 when the trailers were coming out. And I remember seeing the trailers thinking, okay, that looks really good, but it looks like there's a lot in the trailer. And it looks like, if you remember the trailer, it shows the kid get taken and then it shows him running away. So I'm like, okay, so he gets out. All right, cool. Well, I didn't want to know that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I do remember thinking that, but when I actually watched the movie, it didn't really bother me. I think it would have been better had some of that stuff not been in the trailer, though.
Yeah.
And they could have easily have made it as appealing without putting as much in the trailer. Like just the Grabber, the way he looked, some of the creepiness there, that alone, I mean, that grabbed me. just the way he looked. I was like, oh, and then you throw in Ethan Hawke's name in there, and I'm like, okay, you got me. Yeah. I'll go see it.
Never seen him as a villain, as a bad guy before.
Yeah.
So I like that. You do more of those roles, Ethan.
Yeah.
More of these. Although that's another problem I had with it, though, too. I wanted to know more about the Grabber.
Yeah.
Because you get the story that you get is very good, but it's a very contained story.
It is.
and like I wanted to know more. I wanted to know more about the Grabber and another character in this movie that we'll get into in the spoilers section, because I don't really want to give that away either.
Yeah.
You know, it's just there's something about this character that's just like so, like, I don't know. I've always been interested in getting into like the mind of like serial killer type of stuff and all that. So for us to not really get anything in this movie as far as that goes, I was a little bit bummed about that.
Yeah.
Like give us a prequel where he's, you know, where he's doing the same thing he's doing here, but we get more of a backstory in that character.
Right. I could definitely. This is a Blumhouse movie, and it's been successful. So I can't imagine that there isn't at least going to be talks of a sequel or a prequel.
I would only want it done if Joe Hill writes it first.
Yeah.
I don't want Blumhouse getting into it and just. This was a short story by Joe Hill. I want him to write another story about the Grabber. And although then I feel like it's going to be rushed, his writing it, because I'm sure the studio at that point will give him money for it. And so he's, which he wasn't rushing through this story originally because he didn't think it was going to become a movie. So yeah, I'm a little conflicted on that, on that part.
Yeah. So in the, you know, once we get into spoilers, there is a character that I think the story behind this character warrants a sequel. And so, but we'll talk about that a little later.
I guess we are talking about spoilers in this. Like,
eventually. So, so, you know, we're going to talk about good stuff later. So, stick around. So I really like the story. The story with the siblings, brother and younger sister, set in the 70s. The 70s set was really cool. The soundtrack really adds to it.
Oh, yeah.
And I like their relationship and the acting overall, like with the kids, with, you know, all the actors. Did a really good job. So,
there was one really cringy moment for me acting wise.
Oh, was there? Okay.
Yeah, it was in the bathroom in the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
Where like the one of the kids is like beating up one of the bullies and he's in there like wiping the blood off his hands.
Yeah.
And the interaction between him and Finn was a little off for me. It was a little weird.
I could see that.
This is not the best acting on. I'm not entirely sure which one it was that the bad acting was on, because I did like Finn's acting in the movie was really good throughout, and his interaction with his sister, probably the best part of the movie. Their relationship and everything. But it was just like that scene, I was like, it's a little cringe, but okay.
I do remember toward the beginning around then thinking, okay, you know, hopefully the acting improves here, because I do remember thinking that. I like the Grabber. What we got of him was really good, really creepy. The masks, because there's like different variations of the masks. Which was crazy. Interesting. I didn't think that was going to happen.
You know who did the masks for this movie?
I do. Tom Savini.
Fun fact. Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm waiting for Trick or Treat Studios to put that out so I can purchase one.
I'm sure. Yeah, those masks were really cool.
I'm a fan. So yeah, I really like the Grabber, the masks, his whole thing with his balloons, and you know his whole kind of gimmick. I thought was interesting.
I got a lot of It vibes from this movie.
Yeah. To me, if I'm gonna tell somebody what it's like without giving away any like story, I would say it's like It meets Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I can see that. He doesn't eat his victims, but it's
Well, no, it's more of the Buffalo
Buffalo Bill. Yeah.
Buffalo Bill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Character, not Hannibal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the grabber in the book, in the short story, he's actually a clown, not a magician. So
okay.
More it like
yeah.
Correlations and stuff. So I'm glad that they went with magician, because clown's been overdone at this point, guys.
Yeah. Save that for art.
Yeah. And another Pennywise when they eventually get to that.
Yeah.
The grabber can be a magician. We haven't had a killer magician yet.
Yeah, so. I thought that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And the whole mystique of the grabber, they kind of built the grabber's character up before you even see him. And I thought that was cool too, because the whole town is like talking about the grabber, and there's a little bit of anticipation for when the grabber's finally going to strike. So I thought that was cool. So I saw this with my family, my 2 kids and my wife. They're teenagers. They loved it. Yeah. My daughter wants to go see it again, like right now. If I told her we're going to go, she would be down. And she usually doesn't I don't know. She has a hard time paying attention for a full movie without either getting distracted on her phone or falling asleep or something like that.
Yeah.
But for this one, she was very engaged for the whole thing.
Well, I feel like for kids, especially of that age, it's easier because the whole most of the characters, most of the cast are kids.
Yeah.
So they can relate to what they're seeing on screen.
Exactly.
So it's not one that you would take young kids to, I wouldn't imagine.
Right.
But their age, I think kids their age would like it.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so I was a little worried because, it was about a child kidnapper and, all that. So I'm like, okay, what's this guy going to be doing to these kids? I don't need to see, anything sexually charged. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what my wife was worried about too. But then I was like, it's Blumhouse, it's Ethan Hawke. Are they really going to go there? So
they get too crazy with it.
Yeah, I was happy that was not a part of the movie. It was kind of hinted at a little bit, but it wasn't. It wasn't in your face, and they didn't show anything like that.
There was one scene that, I'm not a triggerable person whatsoever. I don't really care. But there is one scene that wasn't even involving the grabber that I was like, okay, I'm getting a little uncomfortable here.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
Very intense.
Yeah.
And incredibly well acted. That was an amazing moment, but it's like, this is too much.
Yeah.
I might get into that in spoiler section too, but it's like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
The scene can end now. I'm fine.
Right.
But that was even before we meet the grabber. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That's true.
Yeah, because Finn's still around in that scene.
I don't really have too much more to say without giving away spoilers, because one of my negatives is a spoiler. But overall, I really liked it. I thought it was a great movie. I would recommend it to anybody. One of the better films of the year to me.
Yeah. This might make it on my top 10 of the year at the end of the year.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
For sure. Yeah. I did have a couple of issues with it. Just mostly I feel like it was, I don't know, this is it's not spoiler. Everyone knows, the whole idea of the black phone, talking to the victims of the grabber. That's actually one of my negatives, honestly, because I just felt like it was too easy.
Yeah.
Giving him basically, like, obviously I didn't want this kid to get killed, but but at the same time, it's like it kind of takes the suspense out of it when you're being walked step by step on how to escape this guy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously it didn't work out for them doing it or whatever, but
Yeah.
enough people, like, kids give you advice, and it's probably easier to be able to get away.
Yeah, it's not really fair. The grabber didn't have a black phone to.
Oh yeah, he didn't have a
to have like Freddy talk to him or something on how to kill kids.
It just takes the suspense out of it for me a little bit.
Yeah.
When, I mean, it kind of makes it obvious that this kid's most likely going to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say there probably wasn't any moment where I thought he was actually going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if, does he die?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe he does.
Yeah. He still could have. We don't know. We don't know until we get to the spoiler section, right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. That like he had like a like a handicap for golf.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of had that extra help.
Handicap for surviving a child abduction. Look, I would normally be all for that in the real world, but in movies, you want some suspense, some level of suspense, and in your horror movies, and I felt like that kind of was taken away when he got help throughout the entire movie. But
yeah, well, and there is with the phone, some of the scenes with the phone, a couple of good jump scares that got me.
Yeah,
I got me a couple times.
Yeah, there was at least one good one that I jumped.
Yeah,
for sure. Which again was shown in the trailer.
It was, yeah.
It's like, come on, guys.
It was, and it still got me.
Yeah, it still got me too. But I was after watching it, I was like, "What? That okay?" The biggest jump scare was actually shown in the trailers. But I mean, hey, it was still effective. It still got us. So
yeah, especially in theaters.
Good job.
The loud, loud speakers and stuff. So
for sure.
Okay, let's rate it, and then we can go into some spoilers after that.
All right.
So what do you think?
So this one's getting a solid 90.
Nice. Wow, that's really good.
I really liked it. I did have a couple of issues with it, but I did enjoy it, and I would I want a prequel out of this. At least one prequel. I want more Ethan Hawke as the grabber.
Yeah.
And I also want more backstory with the character. So
yeah. Cool. So I'm going 88.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna have a higher score than you. So cool. Yeah, this one's really good. Mm-hmm. I think it'll definitely be in my top 10, probably top 5 for the year, unless something changes. Like Halloween Ends is amazing, and Terrifier 2 is amazing, and
we still got like a whole half of the year left. So
yeah. We'll have some other ones to compete, but right now I think it's gonna probably be comfortably in my top 5. So, okay, let's talk about some of the spoilers.
All right.
So, before I forget, there was a character. Oh man, I can't remember now what you were talking about initially that you wanted to mention.
Oh, so I know.
Okay.
So there was a part in the trailer.
Oh yeah.
Where he's on the phone, and you just see Ethan Hawke's character scream, "Get off the phone!"
Oh yeah.
That never showed up in the movie.
No, it didn't. Yeah.
Every time he picked up the phone, I was just like, I was clenching up because I was like, oh, it's gonna happen, and it never happened.
That's
Anytime
true.
that it was like, oh, okay. I mean, it would have been cool to get that part in the movie itself, but I do like the fact that it still got me. Like every time he picked up the phone, I was like anticipating that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of sucks it didn't come, but at the same time, you know, it still got me to like, you know, I was at an unease every time he was on the phone.
Yeah.
Because like just waiting for that moment, and I was like, okay. So.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. He's like yelling, get off the phone.
Yeah, I don't... Does he ever even see him talk on the phone? Like, he sees him with the phone, but he tells him it's like, you know, doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever, like, catches him on the phone. Like,
no, he doesn't.
To anybody.
I think he picks up the phone towards, like, the first part of him getting abducted. And you just hear Ethan Hawke go, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, the phone, like... And he does say hang up the phone a couple of times.
Yeah.
Which kind of tells me that, well, if it doesn't work, then what's the big deal with him holding the phone? Like,
yeah.
Obviously it works.
Yeah.
You just don't want him to know what's on the other line.
So something else that I liked was, you know, we knew he was killing kids, but we didn't know, like, how this worked. Like, he didn't just kidnap and then kill somebody. There was like some sort of method to his game, you know? And so I thought that was kind of interesting, you know, mystery to know, like, what's this guy's deal? Like, what is he waiting for? Why doesn't he just kill him? Yeah. And then to learn the whole naughty boy game that that he was waiting to play, that was creepy.
It was like,
oh my gosh, this is rough. And he's like there shirtless with his mask on, like waiting. Oh man. Which
tells me that it happened very fast the first couple of times, because by the time he gets grabbed, he's the third one that's been killed. That will not has been killed. He doesn't die in this movie. But the two other ones before him were killed, and that, like, he was grabbed within 15 minutes of this movie starting. Like, it was pretty early on. So they must have done the whole you're a naughty boy game slightly very early on when they were getting kidnapped. Like, it's like, okay, like, because he was kidnapped for at least days. Like, it may have even been a week that he was gone for, and it definitely was not that long for either of the other boys. No. So, I'm like, that's okay. They acted fast with those two, but not with him.
Yeah. Well, with the Karate Kid, it makes sense that he would be killed quickly because he's like a fighter. You know, so he would take that opportunity.
Yeah.
To be naughty.
He was a naughty boy right away.
Yeah.
There was that moment, the first interaction after he's kidnapped felt a little awkward.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable again. There were a couple of moments in that, but there were two big ones. One with the grabber, one with the dad, actually.
Yeah.
But with the grabber, Ethan Hawke, he's like laying on the bed and he's like talking little kid talk to him. Like, it was just like, I'm gonna get you an ice cream. You want me to get you an ice cream cone? Like, it's just, it was very off-putting.
Yeah.
I know that's the point of that moment. It was just like, oh man, you're making us very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, and he's like, I won't have you do anything that you won't like.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what?
Yeah.
What the heck? Oh, I don't like the way you said that.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But after that,
done.
Definitely. That was the most uncomfortable part of the entire movie.
Yeah.
With the grabber.
Yeah.
Moment with the dad. Man, like I've been spanked before, like once in my life, and when I was like really young. But like, so I don't have this traumatic experience that I'm sure people have had in their past. So if you if you get triggered easily by being whipped, like over and over again, be careful.
Right.
Because that was too much for me, and I haven't had that experience in my life. So, and it was between the dad and Gwen.
Right.
And, yeah, that moment was really intense. I do like the actor who played the dad. He was in Lost. He was in like 3 seasons of Lost. And he's a good actor.
Yeah.
And I ended up liking the character as the movie went on, but they really painted him in a very bad light in the first 10 minutes of that movie.
Yeah, I was a little conflicted with my feelings about him.
Yeah.
You know, he's like this drunk with 2 kids who he's, come on, you're supposed to be their dad. Stop, getting wasted. And
I think he had some PTSD going on. I think he was in the war. He was reading the paper and was talking about the military.
Yeah.
And I think Gwen was like making breakfast or something, and he was like, "Could you be any more noisy?" or something like that. Like, so I feel like the PTSD definitely plays a part in that character.
Right.
But yeah, it was intense.
Well, and his wife, their mom, committed suicide.
Yeah.
So that's traumatic as well.
Yeah.
So,
just like with 2 years before or something they said.
Yeah. So, once you learn about his past and then you see like how much he loves his kids, then it's like, okay, maybe I can cut this guy some slack. And toward the end, you do start to kind of feel for him a little bit. So, it was a good character arc for him. Now, my negative for this movie is, so Gwen has her like visions or her psychic powers or whatever, which typically is not something I really like in horror movies. Just, I don't know, it's kind of cheating to me.
It kind of is in this movie too. I mean, the visions do show her exactly where, not where he is, that it shows where the bodies are.
Right.
Which he's right across the street.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you couldn't have picked a more obvious place.
Yeah.
Than right across the street, but okay.
Yeah. So, it is cheating in the movie. I think it's done pretty well, though. I think, it's not just like all of a sudden she just sees something. She kind of has to work for it. She kind of puts together some clues. The police are like on her. Yeah. Thinking like she's involved or something, and she has to like convince them. And so there's a whole, way of going about this, that it wasn't just so easy. But the thing is she never like actually helped him escape. He escaped.
Yeah.
She was able to lead the police to where the bodies were.
Yeah.
But if she didn't have this psychic and ability and these visions, he still would have got out.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
It wasn't really that necessary for, I mean, yes, the bodies and everything, but, for the main story with the main characters, all that was not consequential to the end result of him escaping. So.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that was all for the bodies themselves, which I'm sure well, I don't know how the DNA testing was back then. I was going to say they could have traced it back to who the grabber actually was and found the other address, but I don't know what their testing was like back then. So I'm not entirely sure if he hadn't escaped if they would have found him eventually from them finding the other house.
Yeah.
But yeah, from what we understand, like, yeah, he escaped on his own.
Yeah.
He even killed the guy on his own.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So,
which I don't know. He basically snapped his neck. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of a lame way to kill off like a killer like this.
Yeah.
But
that's where I'm thinking there might be a sequel. Because I feel like the whole like psychic abilities and visions and the fact that her mom also kind of had this, it seems like.
Yeah.
You know, there's something to explore there further.
Yeah, there is.
To, you know, and then the grabber, there's little that we know about him, so I feel like there's a lot to do with this story and these characters that maybe we will eventually, you know, get to learn.
Yeah.
So
I would love a sequel or a prequel.
Yeah.
Just give us more Ethan Hawke as the grabber.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm good.
Yep. Same here.
Have him still be alive and move to a different town and have a whole new cast. I don't care as long as as long as he's still a part of it.
Yeah.
And you know, as long as you have good acting kids, which that's a hard thing to. They've been able to do it quite a bit in the last like 10 years or so. Get like really good child actors. But there's quite a few movies out there it's rough to get through.
Oh yeah.
Some of the kid acting. So if your movie is going to be around children, then you got to get the best
right
for your movie.
You know, maybe what'll happen is this is a brand new idea that I just came up with. So the grabber was killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like the sequel will be him haunting people in their dreams. These kids.
Yeah. Such an original idea.
Yeah, I think I got to tell somebody about that.
How has no one done that before?
Yeah. I mean, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So we'll see. That's what I'm hoping for.
I mean, this movie did take place in 1978. If they waited a couple more years, I mean, the first Nightmare was in the early 80s. So he could, you know, it could be that the timeline of he haunts. You actually find out that the town that they live in is Elm Street.
Yeah, Springwood.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. Yeah, because we don't ever actually know his actual name, right?
No, I don't think they.
It could have been Freddy Krueger. We don't know. That might have been Freddy.
It could have been. It could have been the backstory for Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And he had a brother apparently too. So
yeah, that's true.
Which that was weird. That was one of them I was going to talk about because I wanted more information on this guy.
Yeah.
How do you not know your brother, who you're staying with currently, is the grabber who has children in the basement?
Yeah,
like you've never
really
wandered
weird.
around the house before.
Yeah,
never
I
gone
thought the
downstairs
same.
to see, just to curiosity. Like
yeah, I thought the same thing. Especially this guy's like, he's got his whole like bulletin
he's a
board.
conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, he's like working on the case himself.
Yeah.
And he's living with the grabber.
With the killer. Like, all right, you're way close to this thing, man. You need to put this together quicker.
Yeah.
I mean, he did eventually, which cost him his life. And that's another It reference. Well, not reference, I guess. He was actually in It Chapter 2.
That's right. Yeah.
He was one of the kids all grown up.
Yep. He was.
Who also ends up dying in that movie, which he just has a tendency of doing in these movies, apparently.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it, unless you have any other thoughts to add.
What was the deal with the kid at the arcade?
Yeah.
Who was just really pissed off and just angry about like all the other kids were just like trying to warn him and everything, and this guy was just like he was mad. He was. And that's pretty much how he was when he was alive.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just how you are after you die. But like,
yeah, he was just pissed.
He was intense. Like, you need to calm it down. I know you're dead, but damn, dude, you can calm it down a little bit.
What did he say? Like, he like repeated something.
Yeah.
This is your time, or like something. He's screaming. And
yeah,
like,
I don't remember exactly what it was.
A few times, yeah.
I mean, he was the most important for Gwen because he actually had the house number written down on his arm for some reason.
See, that's like, so that vision that she had, I'm like, okay, this isn't actually what happened.
No.
This is just her mind putting together where the house is. Because I'm like, this is stupid.
He wouldn't have that tattooed on him or something.
And then he gets dropped off at the house. Like, okay. Is that where he lives? Or like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
He's
was
actually
weird.
the grabber's son. He had to test it. He had to test it all out on his son.
Yeah.
Before he did anything else. Now it was just like that was the one that kind of like stood out between like all but 4 of the kids. Because it was his attitude. Like I don't where is this coming from, man?
Yeah.
I know you've been through a lot recently, with the grabber, but but yeah, that was the last bit that I wanted to talk about.
Okay,
was like just how like story wise, like was that something that the producers were like, we want you to be angry right now for some reason?
Yeah.
Was this like his choice?
Yeah. I think it was to bring some like intensity because it was toward the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, not like, I don't know if I would say the end, but it was toward the, where he's starting to figure out how to fight the grabber and, how to get out and everything. So I think maybe it was just to bring some intensity to that, climax.
Well, he did.
Yeah, he definitely did.
He brought some intensity to it. It was like maybe a little bit too much intensity, but.
All right. Well, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Go check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube. We have all of our reviews up with some wonderful photography by Joel.
Thank you. Actually went out to the sets and took pictures myself.
Yeah, wonderful.
Of all of the movies, even movies we've done since reviewed that came out before I was born.
Yeah. Yep. He's got some good pictures of like The Omen and Rosemary's Baby and
Psycho.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
good work. So yeah, you can go on YouTube and check those out, and you find us on Apple, Spotify. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. Let us know what you like about the show.
Not what you dislike. We don't want to know that. No, we're always open to any criticisms.
Yeah.
When we're trying to get this up and running more.
Yeah.
So, any critiques or whatever.
Right.
Let us know.
Yeah, and give us a comment on social media. Send us a message. We want to connect with you guys, and you can give us recommendations on movies and stuff like that. Yeah. That'd be great. We are open to watching anything that's horror related. And I think that's it. Oh, we're on Patreon as well, so go on there and check out the different perks that you can get when you become a patron.
Yes.
All right, that's it. This has been our review for The Black Phone from 2022, and this has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let the grabber